Hello everybody, my name is Andre, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can unlock the full power of the Go High Level website builder by utilizing custom code. And in this video we are gonna focus primarily on this element right here and what you can achieve with it. It will be a beginner friendly tutorial with some really cool and interesting and easy effects that you can add today to your Go High Level website. We're not gonna focus on custom CSS. We're gonna use it a bit, but we're not gonna focus on it because I already have a video about it on the channel. So let's get started. First things first, you will need a custom HTML and JavaScript element. Once you add it to your website, you can open code editor here, and inside here you can add different things. And you might ask, what can we write here? Well, first of all, you can add HTML. And basically with HTML, you can create your own custom elements. For example, we can have a div which acts like a container, and inside it we can add a span, which will be our text. Of course, instead of span, you can add like an H2, which is a type of headline, and let's say test header, right? And then of course you can close your H2 tag, and then let's also close our container. This is how you close it, with a backslash. Then you click save and everything is saved. You can click on this button, preview custom code, and as you can see, you can actually preview your new element, which obviously is similar to something like this, for example, right? You can add an H3, for example, and of course, sometimes when you preview your custom code, you won't really see the full effect of your code. Here, you need to click save and actually preview the whole website. And as you can see, this is how it looks. And if we change to something like H4 or let's say H1, because this is the biggest in terms of size, and then you refresh it, as you can see, this is an actual H1, a bit different than when you preview it here. So yeah, this is just to get an idea of what you are actually building, but for the best preview results, just preview it in the actual website preview. So you might ask, why on earth would I want to use a custom text rather than just a normal text? Well, with a custom element, you can have way more control. For example, you can add a span here, span for the header, let's say span like this, we close it, and inside here you can add a class, let's say test class, and now you can apply a class only to this word. And if we select it, click save, and then go into custom code and create something like this. Let's say we want font size, let's say 50 pixels, for example, right? Something like this. Then we click save, and when we preview it, as you can see, you have different size to the other word. So you might ask, what am I using this for? Well, for example, you can have something like this, and let's say $99, and then here per month, something like this. Let's click save, and then let's increase the size to 100 pixels. And all of a sudden, you made a really nice and interesting price tag for, let's say, your pricing section. You know, you have different tiers, and you can play a bit with different sized text, right? Yeah, you got a point. Well, let's say instead of this, let's say something like this, and of course you can add a cool font to it, font family, let's say Inter, and font weight, let's say 700, And all of a sudden you have control of every single attribute for that specific text. And look how nice this is. So this is basically how you can use custom HTML on a beginner level, right? This is just a very simple use case. Now I'm also going to show you another very simple use case and very useful, you'll see in just a second, that also uses some JavaScript. So we have a new custom code element, and inside here I already wrote it before the video, so you don't have to watch me write it, but I'll explain every single line of it. So this is another HTML element, right? We have a container, the div. I added a custom class that we're going to create in just a second, and inside it we have two span elements. The first one, which is a simple text, and then the other one which is empty but has a custom class. And below that I have created a custom script. And as you can see, we have this function that basically, let's actually delete this for a moment. This function actually waits for your page to be loaded. So all your scripts should start with this, right? Because you don't want your custom code to run before the page has actually loaded. So with this function, we actually wait for the entire page to load and then we run what's inside it. And here we have a console log, right, just for testing purposes if you need, but we can delete that. And for our specific use case, we have this one. And what this does is very simple. Document.querySelector and then the class will select the first element with this class from our document, from our page, right? And in our case, it's this one. It's only one element. We can also select it by ID if we want it like this, and then instead of this, we would have something like this. But let's go with the class for now. And then dot inner text equal new date dot get full year. This is a JavaScript library that helps you with dates, right? Which month is it, which year is it, and so on. So you might guess what this does. When we run it, basically it will add here the current year, but it will add it in a dynamic way. So next year you won't need to go on each of your clients' websites and manually change 2026 or 2027 and so on, because this little function here will do that for you. And let me click save and I'll show you in just a second. Keep in mind that this preview custom code doesn't really preview JavaScript, so yeah, you need to preview it here. So as you can see, very simple footer text with whatever static text you need, and then a dynamic text that changes every single year based on the current year, so you don't have to manually change it. Very simple, yet very powerful. And of course you can create something like this, a very simple class that will go hand in hand with this one here, with your custom element. And all of a sudden you have a really nice footer element, as you can see, and you can actually play around with it to look really good, and you can integrate it in an already built footer. Awesome. Let's move on to the next thing. So I have created another custom code element, and inside it we're gonna play with some JavaScript to manipulate some Go high level elements. As you can see, we have the DOM content loaded function here, so all our content will go inside here, and we're gonna paste this thing. First things first, this is a variable in which we are gonna store a button. Now, this will look in our page and we'll select the first element that has this class. Currently there is none, but we will add it in just a second. Then we will add a click function to our button. And inside this function here, we're going to create a new variable with some text, and then we are going to select another element which has the class headline, and we're going to change the inner text, and it will be the message, this one right here. So let's try to do that. We first click save, and then we are going to create a headline, and below that we're going to create a button. Our button, as you can see, there are Go high level elements, will have this class, change text, and the text will have headline, I believe, right? The custom class, headline. Perfect. Now, when we click on this button, our text element will have its text replaced by the message that we set up in here. So let's see, add a title here, get started, thanks for clicking. Very, very cool and powerful function that you can use on your website for various things, right? Various use cases. Now I want to show you some more things that you can do with this. I'm gonna go through them and maybe this will give you some cool ideas. So I pasted this script, and as you can see we have some commented lines, just ignore them. And for now we have again a new button, test button, and inside here, well, this one we don't need to comment because this is important. It's the DOM content loaded. As you can see, it has a parenthesis here and another one here, and inside it we have a button, as I said, and then we have an event listener, the click one. So here we can add a very, very simple click to our button, and we can do a lot of things. For example, we can change the inner text as you saw earlier, or we can do something like this. We can have a specific section, let's call it hero section, and we can manipulate the CSS properties, which is really, really cool. So let's try to save this. Let's create a button. First things first, obviously, and let's go test button, and then let's say this section. In this section I want to be hero section. So let's go through that again. We select our button, and when we click on our button we select the hero section and we change the background color to something like this. So let's see, if we click this, as you can see, this one changed the color. So you can do a lot of things with this. Basically you can manipulate any CSS property that you want. Next thing, for example, you can, let's replace this, we can have an image, main image, let's say, and you can change the source of it, right? Let's say you have a button and then to the left of it you have an image. You can click the button and the image will change. Very, very nice. And you can also add classes dynamically. For example, you have this, and then you click the button and you can add a class, active or inactive or whatever it is, right? Depending on your use cases. So this is exactly how you can unlock the full potential and power of the Go High Level website builder. Use custom code, custom CSS, and custom HTML and JavaScript elements, and this way you can make your Go High Level website look 10 times better. Now, if you're curious about a more in-depth CSS tutorial, then watch this video.